we're now going to review the topic of work. And at its basic level, work is defined to be simply the force multiplied by the distance. The applied force, the force applied onto an object, multiplied by the distance that that object moves. Now, when we have a force vector and a displacement vector, we can get not only the magnitude of the applied force, but also the direction in which it was applied. We can get not only the distance or the displacement of the object, but also the direction that it moved. And so when we have these force and displacements as vectors, the way that we calculate the work is slightly different. So we would say if the two vectors are in the exact same direction, so in this case we would say if my force vector was in this direction and the applied the displacement or the how far it traveled was also in the same direction, so the two vectors have an angle between that's 0 degrees, then we say the work is simply calculated by the magnitude of the force multiplied by the magnitude of the displacement. However, if the applied force was in a direction that is different from the direction that the object moved, so we'll say the object moved up this way somehow, then we're going to calculate the work done in a different way. The work done is calculated by simply the dot product of those two vectors, or mag f times mag d times the cosine of the angle in between. Now, in order to get the angle in between the two vectors, they do need to have the same initial point. So if your setup has the initial points that are not on top of each other, then we will need to drag it over so that their initial points are on top of each other. Then that way, from here, we could determine the angle in between the two vectors, get its cosine, and then multiply both of the magnitudes to calculate the work that was done. So here we have an example, and we'll draw out the situation first to determine which of these two formulas is going to be most appropriate for us. So find the work done by a force, and here's our force vector. Now this is a little bit of a typo. This should have a vector hat on top of it, or if it doesn't have a vector hat, it should be written in boldface. So let's go with the boldface notation, because these other vectors are written with that boldface notation. So here's our force vector is 8I minus 6J plus 9K, moving an object from one ordered pair to another ordered pair along a straight line. The distance measured is in meters, and the force is measured in newtons. Now, drawing a picture of this scenario in three-dimensional space is going to be a little bit challenging, but let's look at it algebraically, right? Our force vector, and I'm actually going to switch over to pointy bracket notation. For me, that's a little bit easier. So 8, negative 6, and 9, that's my force vector. But we don't have our displacement vector yet. However, we are given the point at which we start, which is the initial point, and we're also given the terminal point of our displacement vector. And as we remember, in order to determine that vector, we're going to use the terminal minus initial points to get the change in the direction of x, change in the direction of y, and change in the direction of z. So terminal minus initial, here we go. For our x component, we will have the terminal x value minus the initial x value. So that's going to be 6 minus 0. That gives me the change in the direction of x. For the y component, we'll have the terminal y value minus the initial y value. So that's going to give me the change in the direction of y. And for the z component, we'll have the terminal z value minus the initial z value, which is 20 minus 8, and that's my change in the direction of z. So my displacement vector can be algebraically determined here, and we have 6, 2, and 12. Now, since I'm given the force vector and I easily found the displacement vector, the simplest way to calculate this work would be to take the dot product of those two vectors. I'm not given the angle in between, and I would have to find it if I wanted to use that, but there's no need. We can just use this dot product version of our work formula. So the dot product of these two vectors is going to be 8 times 6 plus negative 6 times 2 plus 9 times 12, and we'll calculate our work. Remember, always have our vector hats on the top of a vector so that that notation is correct. This is going to be 48 minus 12 plus 9 times 12 is 108. So our work done, which is this force times distance, is going to be equal to, adding up all these quantities, we get 144. Now let's talk about the units. Remember that force was measured in newtons and the displacement was measured in meters, and so what we see as our work unit is Newton meters. Now, Newton meters isn't usually what we say. The preferred version of those units is joules. So we will, instead of saying Newton meters, we'll say that these are joules. So 144 joules of work was done in moving this object.